Apple Guy here from the Apple Guy YouTube channel, and I'm deep in the heart of my parents' backyard doing some survival camping.
I'm building my own shelter, starting fires, and hunting and cooking my own food. It's rainy, but I'm having a good time.
Well, here we are in the heart of my parents' backyard. The weather around here is really temperamental. When I planned this camp out, the forecast called for really rainy skies, but as you can see, that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. That's okay though, I've got my tarp here to build my shelter, and I've got my Nerf Modulus Tri-Strike to keep me fed. So I'm looking pretty positive about things. I think my first priority is gonna be to build my shelter and get out of the elements, so I'm gonna have to find a good place to do that. All right, well this looks like a good spot. The tree's gonna provide a nice base for my shelter, and I can use the twigs and sticks to help build my fire. One of the most important things I've learned in my survival skills is that you should always lay down before you build your shelter where you think it's gonna be. That way you can figure out if there's any rocks or twigs or roots or anything else that are gonna poke you when you're trying to sleep. All right, yeah, that's pretty good. The grass is a little pokey, but my sleeping bag will fix that right up. It's not too bad. So instead of bringing a full tent, I just brought a tarp with me. I think I'm gonna try and build my own shelter using this branch here as the high point and kind of having it hang down to the sides. I brought some twine as well that I'm gonna use to stake it down off, and I think it'll work out well. Well, all right, nice little shelter. I think this is gonna hold up pretty well. It gets me out of the elements, and even if it starts to rain, it shouldn't be too bad. If you can't tell, I kind of had to change the shelter design. I guess I didn't bring enough jute twine with me, so this works though. Well, building that shelter took a lot out of me, and I didn't bring enough food for dinner. I've got stuff for breakfast tomorrow, but not enough for dinner. So that means we need to hunt. I brought my Nerf Modulus Tri-Strike along for this camping adventure. It's an older model from back when I used to run around the neighborhood playing with these things. I've got a 6-round magazine with 6 elite darts, so hopefully that's enough to get me something to eat. There's not much wildlife around these parts. We see some squirrels every once in a while, but they're mostly hibernating right now, and I wouldn't want to eat one anyway. They don't taste very good. The neighbor has a cat that sometimes comes over as well, but I don't want to hunt that. I think if I did, it'd cause some trouble on next door. I'm really looking for one of the rarer species around here. Something I can get a full meal out of without wasting any bit of it.
Guys, that's a lone McDonald's cheeseburger. They're an invasive species in most parts of the world except Antarctica and North Korea. They've been all over since 1940. They're really high in calories, and if I can land my shot, that's gonna be my dinner.
All right, so I gotta cook this cheeseburger before I eat it, but that means I'm gonna need a fire. I'm gonna be using this jute twine as my fire starter, but I'm gonna need some dry kindling before I can get it going. So I'm gonna look around for some twigs, sticks, things like that.
This one looks good. And oh, there's a whole bunch over here. All right. Not bad. Dropped one. I got bozo.
The way you use jute twine to start a fire is really easy. You gotta pull the twine apart into these hair-like strings and then ball it back up. It'll light really easily, but it won't burn for long. Now that I've got my fire going, it's time to prepare the hamburger for cooking. You really only need to remove the outer wrapper. Some people like to take out the inner pickles, but I'm okay with eating those today. That was good. Well, I am just exhausted and it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna put the camera up and I will see you guys in the morning.
Oh, good morning. As you can see, this weather took a bit of a turn for the worse, but the shelter held up pretty well. I was a little cold, but I was comfortable. I slept well. The pitter-patter of the rain on the roof was pretty relaxing, so that was good, but I mean, just look. That is some rough weather, and I hate getting packed up in the rain. If I had one complaint, I'd say I was a little cold, but, you know, I didn't want to get out of my sleeping bag to stoke the fire, and if I had more time last night, I would have heated up a hot water bottle and put that at the foot of my sleeping bag, but I just was too exhausted to do it. Well, my next priority is breakfast.
Well, I'm cheating a bit for breakfast today. I brought 3 fully cooked waffles and a plate and some syrup and a fork. I hunted last night. I could splurge a little bit today. All right, there we go. 3 Eggos and some syrup. But that's not all. You can't go on a camp out without some fresh bread and honey butter. That was good. Well, this was a pretty good shelter. If I were to build it again, I think I'd want some way to heat the tent, but otherwise the tarp did a pretty good job protecting me from the rain.
If you liked that video, make sure to check out the Apple Guy YouTube channel, where we have 0 videos just like this. And if you want to see my newest adventures, make sure to click subscribe so you'll get notifications.